Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome to a new episode of the Looks Like On podcast. In this episode, I'm joined by my friend Hawk. Hawk is a coach living in Kentucky, USA. I'm so thankful that he gave me this opportunity to practice my own coaching on him. And in this case, I'm using AI to assist me in the coaching. To put it simply, I'm using AI to help the client pinpoint a limiting belief and to break it. Something as simple as this can actually change your life for the long term. Thank you, Hawk, for letting me practice this coaching on you. Thank you, brother.
Dang. So like what's funny is like for most of this time I wasn't even really sure what my service even is or was. Um, what what it is right now is that I use AI to help people identify a limiting belief and unlearn it. That's what I'm
Okay.
doing now, I guess. So I created a prompt to interview you.
Alright.
So basically like I'm gonna be the middleman between the AI and you.
Kind of like being the prophet.
I don't know. But like the AI is gonna take you into a deep as fuck conversation and it's going to reveal whatever that limiting belief is. Or maybe you already know it, so then it's even easier for the AI. I don't know. Do you want to try it?
Sure.
Okay.
I'm open for anything that ain't shooting people up for a night.
Okay, so the
Or
first question that the AI generated is this. Tell me what's an area of your life where you feel stuck, frustrated, or like you're hitting the same wall over and over again.
career.
Career. Okay. So I'm gonna insert that answer, career.
Well, career and
What was that?
career and finance.
Ah, career and finance. Okay, one second. Let me modify this. Okay. Okay. It says when you think about career and finance, what's the recurring thought or feeling that shows up?
Stuck forever in a dead end job.
Hmm. Okay, cool. I'm gonna insert that answer. It says there it is, that voice. When that thought arises, where do you feel it in your body and what emotion comes with it?
Solar plexus. Frustration.
It says excellent awareness. This tells me this belief isn't just intellectual, it's rooted in identity, in how capable you feel to shape your life. Now it says, let's go deeper. Whose voice does that sound like? Is it yours, or does it remind you of someone from your past? A parent, a teacher, a boss, or even a society?
All of the above.
It says that makes sense. Belief echoes from multiple sources. It begins to wear the disguise of truth, but it's not truth, it's conditioning. A program thought that feels like you because it was repeated so many times. Okay, now it's saying let's unhook from it. If we set that belief aside just for a moment, the belief that you could be stuck in a dead-end job forever, if you set aside that belief, what becomes possible for you? What would you want to believe instead?
Music and freeing human hearts.
Hmm. Wait, did you say music first?
Music. Performing my music and freeing human. You got to be very specific with these particular advantageous devices, don't you?
So I put performing music, right? Was there
Yes,
something else afterwards?
freeing human hearts.
Freeing human hearts. Yes.
That's my go-to, freeing human hearts.
Oh yeah. Sorry if my voice is like so raspy right now. Like it's not my voice is not so clear. Okay, I'm entering this answer now. Performing music and freeing human hearts. Okay. It says it says this is like your soul calling. Now breathe into that. When you imagine yourself doing that, how does your body feel, especially in the solar plexus?
My body feels light, my solar plexus feels heavier.
It's heavier now. Wow. Cool.
Feels something like fear,
Yeah,
like like it's a weight pulling against the other beliefs.
true, true. Yeah. Wow. There's a lot here. Huh. It says if that heaviness, if that feeling of heaviness could speak, what does it say? And what fear does it carry about you stepping fully into your work of music and freeing hearts?
Change.
It says
Yeah.
that you should change. Or wait, what does the voice say to change?
Habits, negative habits,
Ah, okay.
smoking, distraction.
Hmm. Okay. Hmm. Okay, wow. It says the voice is saying, how can how can I be a light for others when I still carry darkness within myself? Is that
Yeah,
really what it's
that,
saying?
that sounds about right.
Damn. It says
That,
that oh yes, yes,
that's
please go ahead.
insightful. That's deeply insightful.
Wow. There's more. It says the voice is saying, I'm not ready, I'm not clean enough, I'm not worthy yet.
I feel that.
Wow. And it says that this is coming from the belief that your worth is conditional on being perfectly healed.
Yeah.
Is that true? Oh, okay. Okay, that makes sense. So that is the belief, specifically, that belief is the one that we're going to unlearn. Wow, because I also have this too. Wow. Cool. Okay.
Reason that universe and Great Mother Earth brought us together, brother.
It's like an algorithm. Okay, it says, here's a question only you can answer. Do you believe someone can be a healing presence in the world even while they are still healing themselves?
Yes, I've done it.
Exactly. Okay. I'm giving that answer. It says the truth is you don't have to be perfect to be powerful. It says your imperfections, your human journey, your ongoing healing, that's what makes you real and what allows others to relate to you.
Authenticity, vulnerability.
Mm. It says it's not about waiting until you're better or healed enough. It's about embracing the process of healing while you're on the path and showing others that they can do the same.
Yeah, I'm just a footstep ahead.
Mm.
It's a matter of convincing the subconscious and
Yeah,
the non, because consciously I know all these things. It's like,
exactly.
yeah,
The
but
subconscious is just catching up.
where's the key?
Yeah, the subconscious is just catching up. Yeah, because in your gut, you already know that your subconscious is catching up. Mm.
Anytime I do healing work lately, since before Daddy died, it all comes straight from third chakra and solar plexus.
Wow.
There's some days where I'll do a healing session, and it's a good thing I did it on my day off because I'm used. The energetic structure has to realign and reform,
Mm.
which right now I'm still healing from burnout. So, the mind's getting there
Mm.
wonderful. Body still is like, don't push me. Don't push me too hard.
Mm.
And it was realizing that the mental effects that we start to feel from burnout is the body's last defense of you're burning me out, because the body's already been done. I'm done with this. And you're just mentally, using willpower.
Mm.
That's, and it sucks because I've always been a go, go, go guy.
Mm. Dang.
So
To
it's like,
know.
really? I got to lay in bed all day and not sleep?
Yeah, right now you get to rest. Yeah. Awesome.
Not get to rest, sweetheart. It's got to rest.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, I'll think positive thoughts where I can. Where's a pretty girl and a guitar? Okay.
Oh, sorry. 1 second.
This is a reminder. Push-ups.
My push-up reminder.
This is a reminder. Push-ups.
Uh, okay, I will do it after this. Okay. It has some more questions for you.
Okay.
So the whole idea of um assuming you have to be perfect to be able to heal others, what would you say to yourself if you were truly free of that thought?
I love you.
True. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Cool. Okay, I think I'm gonna have it stop here. I'm gonna have it create a summary because now I see that it's generating some questions that are kind of just random to keep random conversation going. Or you can
That's
or
it's
you or you can try it out. I don't know. I'll just give you the question, then it's up to you. If you think it's too random, then we can just end it.
okay.
The question says, how would you reframe it to allow yourself to fully step into your music and your mission despite the habits you're working through?
Be successful by using the tools I have at my disposal now.
A good answer. Okay. It says that's a powerful reframe. Right now, in this moment, you already have everything you need to move forward, even if it's in small incremental steps. Each action you take, every piece of music you create, each heart you touch adds to the tapestry of your journey. And now it's created a summary for you, so I'm going to send you a screenshot of this so you can read it in your free time. It's created a summary of everything we've learned during this conversation. And I also requested it to create powerful affirmations to support you on your journey. They're specifically relevant to the conversation that we just had.
So it's
I'm sending
downloadable.
that to you right now too. Sweet. I don't know if you want to. Should we
It's
share any of the affirmations? Maybe somebody will benefit from them.
show the whole thing, but the only thing that I'm seeing come up on this end when it shoots the small is a picture of you.
Oh, I sent it to your WhatsApp. But let me actually maybe I can send it
You
straight
send
into
it
the
to
Exali.
Hawk and Help with Hawk Healing because that's no longer in work.
Oh, okay. Maybe I can send it
Help.
straight into this chat. Let me see. Oh yeah. Okay. There I just in the chat I sent the summary and now I'm gonna send you the affirmations.
Okay, WhatsApp sent me a message said you sent
Yeah, yeah.
or whatever you're using here.
It's the same images that I'm sending you now.
Okay. And what service is that through?
What was that?
What service is that through? Or
Oh,
what
oh, the
did you
AI
see?
that I used was it was just the free version of ChatGPT.
Okay. So, um, but did you send it to an email or did you send it to WhatsApp? Did you send it Messenger?
I've sent it to you on WhatsApp and into the Zoom chat in here too.
Okay. Because I don't, on my phone here, I don't have chat.
Oh, really? Oh, that's weird. That's odd. Should I send it to your like to Messenger or something or
Send it to helpfulhawkhealing@gmail.com.
an email? Okay. Oh, sweet. Okay.
That
So,
way, one way or another, there's some platform that's going to have it.
okay. There's the affirmations and here's the summary. Okay, sweet. I'm emailing it to you right now. Send. Send.
But across the galaxy, I've been watching Star Wars, so it's like, you know,
Cool.
you're half world, but it's like across the galaxy. I send you message.
Dang. I was watching episode 3 like 2 months ago because I don't know I wanted to see like when exactly does Anakin turn evil. It's pretty creepy.
When does he flip the switch?
Yeah. When is he's like confirmed, like, yep, I'm confirmed.
The the point that I saw him flip the switch was when, in my opinion, was when he and Kenobi were fighting Dooku.
Wow.
You know, it's like because he gets a certain look on his face during that thing, during that battle, and then that carries throughout the rest of that movie and the third one, to where when he gets to the point and actually ends Dooku, it's
Mhm. Oh yeah, 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 you're right. That's when like a little spark starts, right? A little spark of hatred or something.
well, actually, you can take his little spark of hatred all the way back to when he was, before they took him off Tatooine originally,
Mm,
because of the way he was dealing with his owner.
mm,
And, he had to leave his mom behind, and you see a certain look in the kid's eyes when, oh, I've got to leave mom behind. That's his ultimate breaking point is she can't come with me.
mm.
That's where he kind of subconsciously drops out of the mix, in my opinion. Not
Right.
that that actually fell off, but there was something
Mm,
in that where Hayden Christensen picked up a certain look in his eyes when in that scene when they finished with Dooku, that he had a certain bearing
mm.
that seemed, that again, that could be me reading into it, but he seemed to carry on through and just keep building and building and building and building and building.
What I
So to me,
found, like, what I found super interesting was when the Darth Sidious is convincing Anakin to switch sides. Like, he knows right where to hit him to convince him.
straight up sociopath.
It's creepy that he's like really wise, but also so evil.
Yeah, that's one thing about going through this healing process is that I've gone back and rewatched movies from my youth from the point of view of where's the narcissism, where's the blatant I'm using my power for evil and I know I'm using my power for evil. Most most narcissistic people and most sociopaths don't know who they are. They have no clue what's going on. They just know that this is the way things happen and they feel empty. Then there's the ones who do. And one thing about it is psychopaths are born, sociopaths are made. Psychopaths are born completely without the mechanism for conscience. They know from an incredibly early age exactly what they're doing. They may not be able to enunciate it or anything like that, but they will sit back 40, 50 years manipulating this, that, and the other to come around. And they'll never sit and enjoy it with somebody. They'll be sitting back in their rooftop with their wine, watching the world crumble. Ah, yes, I made this happen.
Oh,
No
wow.
one knows
The
because they don't
Joker.
want. That would be sharing their glory, and they're not going to do that.
Mm,
It's sociopaths are usually incredibly violent, and psychopaths, all except for about 1% of them, but for the most part, you'll never know a psychopath is truly a psychopath
yes.
because they are so good at manipulating and acting.
When I see people performing so well like that, I have one friend who can do that. Look, but like I feel in his mind, he says that life feels like a movie. So he's just like, I wonder if psychopaths can recreate some action similar to that easily too.
Getting into the mind of a psychopath, well, because they have so many defense mechanisms in place. But since they have no conscience at all, even a small baby, you can watch certain things they do. And day by day, it's one thing I noticed with my sons, they develop conscience. They may ignore it, but they still develop conscience.
Mm,
And those that ignore it, completely, you may never know it. They
mm,
may actually have a conscience. A sociopath is very violent in any way, verbally, emotionally, physically, in some form or another, either withholding or expressing, they will be very violent. It will be always a contorted drama, a dramatic torment or cyclone, tornado. There
mm.
will always be something going on that they're at the center of. And everybody has to pay attention to that center. And then they say, see, I am the eye of the storm. I'm the calm in the center. You all are going nuts, but they originally started the drama with
Mm.
vicious, and then they say, "Oh no, I didn't." The true gaslighting of trying to make the other person feel crazy.
Mm.
True gaslighting, and it's so misused, especially in America right now. Oh, you disagree with me? You're gaslighting. No, true gaslighting is making the other person so emotionally and thought dependent that it's like, you're so crazy, you have to have me, you have to look to me, otherwise you can't do it yourself. That's true gaslighting. When that other person is so dependent on you, it's like, should I lift my right hand now? Yes. Should I lift my left hand now? Yes. Should I cut my steak now? Yes. Should I eat it now? Yes. It literally gets to that point in some cases. And if you've ever seen the movie Gaslight, one thing was, she, if I remember correctly, there's a scene where she's looking for her scissors and she's looking all over for me. He says, "No, they're in the drawer." She's like, "No, I just had them." And he walks over and opens them up and says, "Here they are, right here in the drawer where you left them." Where when she had walked out of the room, he had gotten the scissors and deliberately put them in the drawer, or put a painting in a particular place and says, "Oh no, that's not where you keep it. You keep it right there. See, it's right there." That's the kind of things,
Mm.
you know,
Wow.
sociopathic gaslight, horrible.
Mm.
And, trying to make a person, that never happened. Well, yeah, it did. And we have video and audio evidence. Well, you faked it. How could I fake it? We were all right there. You know,
Mm.
it's really that's one advantage of the phones that we have nowadays, is being able to have that instant corroboration. Oh no, see, I recorded this conversation. Well, you didn't have my permission. It doesn't make any difference. See, whether you believe it or not, yeah, you did say that. Yeah, you did do that. So that's one of the advantages of the phones that we have so much disadvantage from.
Mm.
But I appreciate you using the questionnaire the way you did. That was cool. Using the technology. It was
The AI
interesting.
can make, yeah, it can generate some really good questions. And you can have it interview you if you want to find out something specific. Like you can always ask it to talk to you and have a conversation.
Have you used it for yourself?
And yeah, I used it on myself first, and then I started to try with some friends. So you're the fourth friend I've tried it on. But I was doing it on myself first.
Yeah, that's one thing. Anything that I do when I do metanosis, like I've currently got one on Udemy, a healing process and
Mm.
or healing method, and then a rebuild process. And I always use it on myself first. And I was like, I'm not using these every day. But then again, the way I meditate and everything, using adaptation of Vishnakiyani's six, I've got all these different things where I've learned all these different little techniques and tips.
Mm.
And so I'm using all of it together. Like when it goes to the forgiveness phase, I'm exactly in there. Sometimes I will do it in a more intense way, specifically working with completion process technique.
Mm.
But, it's, I am using it every day, every single day,
Mm.
where it's not as intense as, that 12 days that I spent 11 to 12 hours a day with the headphones on and theta state,
Mm.
removing and energetic blocks and stuff, things.
Mm.
Now I'm getting to the point of, look, I'm tired of the gas station. It's not getting me my own place. It's
Mm.
not getting me on stage. In fact, it's interfering with me being on stage, and it's actually interfering because my body is wanting to be awake in the morning now rather than at night. It wants to be awake now. And so on my days off, I'll spend one day, like yesterday, completely in bed, and then I'll spend today and tomorrow. But one thing I did was I bought my sons and I copies of The Code of the Extraordinary Mind because I went to storage and couldn't find mine. So I was like, all right, I'll just buy 3 copies of it. And we spent a week discussing each chapter. And this is the last week of that. And then next week I'll go out with them and hang out, and I'm going to give them copies of The Fifth Agreement by Don Jose and Miguel Ruiz
Mhm.
and start discussing that, which we've already done the 4 agreements. The Fifth Agreement is, I like Don Jose's take. It's more updated.
Mm.
He's more down to earth since Don Miguel is a trained medical doctor, and if I'm not mistaken, surgeon. And Don
Wow.
Jose, so he's got his father's tall check training, but the most important thing about it is like he's an everyday person.
Mm.
So
Yeah. I think when I was in high school or in middle school, I forget, I read the 4 agreements, but I don't even know why that book was in my house. It just happened to be in my parents' room, and I took it and I read it. Just read. I had no idea. It was. I should read it again now because I'm sure it would hit so much deeper now.
I've read the 4 agreements 4 times and the Fifth Agreement 3 times.
Mm. What was the 5th agreement?
Always remain skeptical because you don't know what you don't know.
Oh wow, wow! Like be humble, kind of.
Yeah.
Cool.
Never make assumptions, ask questions. Okay, get that. You don't know everything that's going on just because you see it, but you don't know what you don't know. You don't even know it's there to be known.
Right.
Yeah, I would highly suggest rereading the 4 agreements and ordering a copy of the Fifth Agreement because Don Jose with Miguel goes back and goes through the 4 agreements, but then the way he does it is, I don't like to use the term updated, is more commonly relevant, I should say. And Don Miguel sitting there knew when he adds the Fifth Agreement, and Don Miguel says, he shocked me when he came out with this and talked to me about it. He shocked me. And this is Don Miguel. He's been teaching people for 30, 40 years. It's like here his son comes up and says, "Here you go, Dad." It's like, what do you think of this? He's like, that's the key.
Mm.
You can't know everything. If you knew everything, you'd be the universe itself.
Mm.
So, but I appreciate you taking the time and talking to me. The hair's starting to look good. You growing it out, or are you going to trim it again?
Well, thank you. I'm gonna keep it long just to annoy my grandma. I'm gonna see her next month.
Well, the
So yeah,
first time I shaved my head was when my grandmother died, and I
really.
had lived with. And one of the bones of contention was my hair, and everybody thought I shaved it because, you know, I said no. This is a thing of mourning. I shaved it to get rid of all of the energy that was there that had grown there. And
Mm.
then there's a couple of times I've shaved my head in my life just for a change. But then when my father passed, my hair was about here, and I was having a lot of scalp problems. And so I just took it all off and said, I've got to get the scalp cleared up. I took it all off, and actually went and shaved my hair and everything like that. And there were lesions on my head.
Whoa.
Okay. By the time I get done shaving and I'm going over it with some lotion and stuff, they are almost non-existent in just little pink trails. And this was an hour-long process. Like, oh wow, think you did some spiritual release there, son? So the very next day, I had 2 things that I had kept in my hair when I'd shaved my head, and I took all of them and I made a fire and burned a bunch of stuff, and my hair was definitely in there.
Wow, bye bye hair.
It's like, okay, get rid of it. It's gone. Let it. I'm reason to be holding on to this. Let it go.
But there's two things I wanted to ask you. The first one, I think I'm going back to something we were talking about earlier about like psychopaths and stuff. Like, do you remember who was the famous serial killer who read the book How to Win Friends and Influence People?
But
It was Charles Manson. He read the Dale Carnegie book How to Win Friends and Influence People before he started his cult.
doesn't surprise me.
Jeez. Oh, damn. I just see there's a timer here. It says 2 minutes. I have the free version of Zoom right now. Yeah, oh my God, I lost my bank card and all of my I had to cancel my card and it killed all of my subscriptions to everything because they're all connected to my card. And I can't get a new card because of some stupid law right now.
Wow. Well, that's how they control the electronic money. We're just one good sunspot away from no economy.
Like right now, like here in Asia, it's pretty normal to use your phone to pay for your stuff. Even people who sell street food, now they carry a QR code that you can scan and pay them online. You can pay anything like with online transfer now. Even the police. Because here you have to bribe the police.
What was the other question?
Well, the other question was, ah, what if you use this same thing that we just did? What if you also did for other people? And that could get you some, I feel like something from coaching because you can also guide them.
Because I'm so organic into feeling into, I think for me, having that screen prompt there would be a disconnect.
Mm,
For me, when I'm dealing with a client, if if they're not in visual contact with me, if we're just on the phone or they don't want to have visual contact, I'm sitting with my eyes shut in a slight state of meditation. So for me, it's like there's a lot of intuitive organicness when I do a session. So I mean, it's just for me, it's interesting to have the tool there, and if
mm,
I could print out a sheet, to have because when I'm having them on the screen on the computer, I'd have to have a second screen rather than a scroll, and it just not saying it's not a good idea for certain people, but for me, the way I'm working so by feel, there's times when it would be completely distracting to have to look away from where I am or to even open my eyes.
mm,
If that Because sometimes I'll just be sitting there and it's a friend of mine that I've worked with said it you went to a very monotone, a very comforting but very monotone voice, but the questions you were asking were scary. I
mm,
said, so are the answers. She was like, yeah. I said, but when we disconnected the emotions attached to them, what happened? She said, yeah, I feel a whole lot better. So,
mm,
it's for me, the way I work, it would be distracting.
mm. Like I'm gonna
And
use
I,
it because like I also want to leave my job too. And I need to start making my transition as soon as possible because I didn't sign a new contract and like my contract is about to end and then I'm gonna be like drifting in space for a bit. So in that time, I'm gonna try my best to create as many results as possible because I think that's what I've been lacking too. I've been lacking like creating results. I've been like waiting for people to come to me, but I didn't even know what my service was. I was like, I found it. But now I have this thing. I'm gonna play with this and see what happens.
There's a point to that. That's good. For me, it was a matter of I stopped the corporate job, working in that, the shillings per minute and or shillings per hour, and worked to get my own thing going, but I approached it from the wrong aspect. Now then, I'm looking at, okay, if I'm doing this as a community service, getting the channel back up and going again, how can I do it to where it has the most impact, where it frees the most hearts? And that is specifically putting it on narcissistic abuse recovery and post-traumatic stress disorder. Coming at it from that perspective, because all those personal development things that I was touching on were good and helped me, building new belief systems and things like that. But it it didn't do any part of the alleviation of the deep wounding and things like that. It led me to being able to find, wounds.
Mm-hmm.
Or another person can go through all of that and still be stuck in their situation because, many people, most people I have found are afraid. They don't want to be a dragon hunter. They don't want to be a demon hunter. They don't want to go track down their own demons. They're more comfortable with their story than with changing it. And I understand that completely. There's parts of my story I'm still very comfortable with.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
they become so uncomfortable that they're no longer tenable that, I will let them go.
Mm. I feel I
But
have the challenge too. Huh? Mm. What was that?
this corroboration of what I've been looking at, it's interesting how that I'm interested in reading the documents here in a little bit and seeing what they have to say specifically, you know. So
Yeah, I wanted to see if we could share some of the affirmations.
you want to go ahead?
All right, sweet. I'm gonna pull them up right now. All right. Affirmation. I'll just start with number one. Affirmation number one. I am worthy of success exactly as I am, and I use the tools I have right now to create the life I desire.
That's powerful.
Number two says, I trust my ongoing journey of healing and I allow my imperfections to be part of my power. I feel like I also needed to hear that.
Not disagreeing so far.
Wow. Every action I take, no matter how small, moves me closer to my mission of freeing hearts and sharing my music.
Yep.
Cool. Huh. Yeah, that mission must be very close. I'm sure it's already close. Okay, number four. I do not need to be perfect to be powerful. I am enough and I am ready now.
I like that.
And number five is my authenticity and vulnerability are what make me a powerful force for change in the world.
That works.
Cool. But I wonder what that voice is saying now, because maybe he's trying to argue.
Oh yeah.
Really, dang. Yeah, I think I wanted to ask your subconscious, if possible. I mean, we don't have to, but just what is making it believe that story? Is it just believing some story?
Lifetimes of exposure.
Does that mean like experiencing the same thing for a long time?
Well, in this lifetime, yes, but you got to realize this is a cultural foundation that's based on lifetimes.
Mm.
I'm talking about when you talk about society's rules, you're talking about, millenniums of
Yo,
some of
yeah.
those.
Yes.
So you're overcoming the non-conscious, the collective non-conscious of that, but in your own conscious,
Mm.
that's all that momentum is there too.
Yeah,
So it's, there's lifetimes there that this has been working to be overcome.
that's true. It's so beautiful.
I mean, I'm much more patient with a rabid dog than I am myself. This is because it's obvious why the dog is having a problem. It's got rabies.
Mm.
So, and that's one of the places where I've been working is to be much more patient with myself
Mm.
instead of, oh, that was stupid. It's like,
Okay.
"Okay, I could have done that better. Next time I will take the time to make sure I do it better. It's the constant reframes help
That's a powerful shift.
from where I was a year ago. Yeah.
Isn't it cool how just one shift can change everything?
But the other day I was thinking back to Napoleon Hill's reference to where he says, it's like you're on a liner going full speed and you can't turn off the speed, but you have to turn around and go back to the port. It's going to take a lot longer time to get that to go back to port than if you had to ship and you could slow it down and make a nice hairpin tight curve. When you're going at full speed, it's a much wider curve just to turn around. So I feel like, I'm still in the turn in some ways. Like I'm looking, I'm looking through the scope and saying, yeah, yeah, come on. It's slowly getting to the point where it's, you know, I'm still kind of looking astern or off the bow at an angle, and it's not completely lined up yet. It's the journey. It's not the destination.
Mhm. That's true.
Actually, I was talking about you the other day um, with one of my coworkers. I said, I wish you could talk to Nick because you all would more rapport than I would. A
What does he
person
like?
very he's a person very similar to me in some ways,
Mm.
but journey in other ways. And so it's like, you know, much like I was at his age, I've read 2 or 3 books. I know it all.
Mm.
I've got enough of a view of it. Whereas the view I have now at over twice that age, is like I haven't got enough view. I haven't read enough books,
Mm.
and I want to know it all because that means I've got to be every particle of the universe.
Mm.
I get to be quite tedious. So it's just a matter of where am I today? Am I like in 2016? I came up with the statement: a millimeter, a mile, progress every day. Standing still is not regression; it is
Mm.
strategic observation before tactical implementation. And every now and then you got to stop and look at where you are.
That's
But
true.
even on when you stop, you can still expand the boundary by a millimeter.
Mm.
So, well, I appreciate the session. Edit it and release it how you will, if you want. It's fully, that's fine with me. I
Awesome.
appreciate it.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm gonna make this into a podcast episode and put it on YouTube and Spotify. I think this is yeah. This is fucking cool.
Well, brother, I'm gonna get off here and let you get sleep so you can decide whether you want to recontract or not.
Mm.
I was thinking, what if you were to come to the US and do ESL in the US,
ESL, like teaching English?
English second language in the US?
Maybe. Shit, I don't know if that's. Oh yeah, right. There must be some demand for that. It's possible. Just in Asia, okay, now, cool. Now this sounds mean from me, but in Asia they just pay really well for that.
Oh,
I
and
don't know
it's
if it's
and
the
it's
same wage in America. I have to check. I don't know.
yeah, no, I mean you had mentioned the last time we talked about the possibility of coming back. So, you
Ooh,
know,
hey, you're not too far from my hometown, right? Like I live in Virginia. I'm coming back next month to visit.
right, it's about
I gotta leave here.
8 to 1,200 miles.
Oof, damn, I was wrong. Oh yeah, I'm thinking about Tennessee. No, but
Huh?
I got my
What'd you say
state,
about
I got my states mixed up. I think I was thinking of Tennessee.
Kentucky, Tennessee?
Okay,
Damn.
The east, you got Virginia, West Virginia, Kentucky,
Mm.
North Carolina, Tennessee. But you got to realize Virginia is a long state.
Yeah.
yeah.
I
And
live
you're
in the tip, like in the northern tip. That's my hometown.
up here. So it
Yeah.
might be about 500 miles. Still a hell of a lot closer than 12,000.
Yeah.
We can always arrange something somewhere. Perhaps maybe arrange to meet midway.
Like when my family doesn't really go in that direction often unless they go to like Busch Gardens or something. Do you know Busch Gardens?
I've heard of it.
And I'm not sure exactly where in Virginia that is. I think it's in the center somewhere. I'm not sure. I'm gonna follow my family, see where they're going. Last time my dad took me to Miami for a bit. It was I
Okay,
went to
now
see my parents so often.
that from Virginia is a good drive.
The
I
first
did
time
in
we went to Miami, we drove. That was so far.
100 miles. There's no way. Because the United States is only barely 3,200 miles across from side to side. And this isn't even a third. Oh, well, we'll figure it out. If we can arrange it, we can arrange it. And if not, hey, that's
Yeah.
just. Anyways, you look like you need to sleep.
Thank you.
And I know some stuff I need to do. Thank you very much for the time.
Thank you so much.
You don't know how much I do appreciate your presence.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate that.
You're very welcome. And thank you. Namaskar, brother.
See you again.